Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the eISL, powered by Coca-Cola, with Hero as our associate sponsor, Nodwin Gaming as our esports partner, PlayStation as our platform partner, and Terra Virtua as our digital collectibles partner. Nazim, it's been a thrilling day so far, so how are you feeling right now?
Yeah, looking forward to it. Odisha FC against Bengaluru FC team that on opposite ends of the spectrum. Big highs for Odisha FC yesterday, big lows for Bengaluru FC. So will be interesting to see how this pans out. Of course, this is let's quickly take you through the tournament format. This is of course the last few games of the league stage, which will culminate on the 13th of March, and then all eyes are on the finals. The top four teams, Chennai FC, SC Bengal, Mumbai City FC, and FC Goa will be battling it out for that top spot. And of course, the winning team, it just doesn't end with the eISL. They also battle it out to represent India at FGS 2022.
Yep, and that FGS spot is also crucial for any of these players to try and get. But right now, I think another thing playing on their minds in terms of the motivation is that simple prize pool. So let's have a look at that and see what the top four have made available to themselves and what unfortunately Odisha or Bengaluru will not be able to get a hand in. I think I would especially miss that personalized NFT, and that for the MVP prize as well. Exognic is really close, but I assume unless he pulls off like 8 to 10 individual goals in his remaining matchups, there's no way he's going to be able to pull it off.
Well, yeah, Bengaluru FC, of course, do have 2 games still to play, so potential for Sagne. He just has to beat both of his opponents by 10 goals, and easy peasy, job done.
Yeah, and to say easy peasy, at this point, I think Exognic might just do it because he's going to be rageful. I think after yesterday's defeat that Bengaluru FC faced, he's going to know that I think even in his individual game, it could have gone a lot different, but it didn't because of that simple fact that they were just not feeling themselves. It was a very off day for them overall. And let's have a look at the leaderboard to see exactly what we're talking about. With that loss yesterday, Bengaluru, of course, they're still in that 6th slot. They still have 2 games in hand, but the max number of points they can achieve is 31, which is not nearly enough.
Yeah, of course. Even if they had managed to get themselves, well, maybe even a point could have helped them to survive if FC Goa had lost today. But unfortunately, well, it would all been academic for them anyway. But well, there you go. That's how the cookie crumbles sometimes, and it's going to be a fun game, I think, with the likes of Shubham and particularly Dukal really finding form. Let's find out who's going to be going up against who. Let's take some guesses. I'm guessing it's Varsi up against Dukal, and I am wrong. It's actually Shubham up against Varsi and Dukal up against Sagnik. So a couple of good, interesting matches. Going with the standard formation for Bengaluru of Varsi taking game 1, Sagnik taking game 2. And yeah, Bengaluru FC will want to at least, if nothing else, lock down that 5th spot and get it ahead of Northeast United FC, who do have to play Chennai FC tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow, on Saturday.
Yeah, exactly. And for Bengaluru FC, it's just about redemption at this point. Winning those last 2 games will give them that redemption to try and secure a good end to this eISL season and that number 5th spot. You know, be the best of the rest. If you can't get into the top 4, well, that's the best you can get. But at this point, focus on these individual matchups, and I'm excited to see can they actually make that happen. The idea of Sagnik scoring those 10 goals and making himself a legitimate contender for that MVP spot.
Yeah, well, there is still potential. We did see Bengaluru FC, of course, win the last time out, but there's still potential for Odisha FC to finish above Bengaluru FC in that 6th spot. So, still plenty for them to play for. I think, given how the season has gone, if you handed them the 6th spot a few weeks ago, they probably have taken it. And if they can get the win against Bengaluru today, it's a pretty much a 6-pointer. It brings it to the difference between them is then 23 and 25, and of course Bengaluru FC do have that massive game up against Mumbai City FC coming up next. So, and we do see that Odisha FC have a pretty difficult game up against SC East Bengal, if I am correct. So, not going to be easy for either team. But yeah, Shubham started the season very well, unbeaten for those first 10 games. But then it started to go slightly wrong for him. Goal scoring has been the issue for him. Has not been that much of an issue for Varsi. He got his win yesterday. But that one terrible individual error well, let's not get into that. I think it was heartbreaking enough for the Bengaluru FC boys when it happened. And unfortunately for them, now the best they can get is, of course, this 5th spot.
And we'll have to see if Shubham himself is able to find some good form today, because yesterday wasn't so great. Dugal was the one really pulling off some insane performances, and I'm really excited because of that for the second matchup. In this first one between Shubham and Varsi, I feel like that initial goal is also key, because we saw from Varsi yesterday, he got the initial goal and just held on for the rest of the match. Defensive resilience was the name of the game from him, and just did not allow an opportunity even once for DK overall. Now again, Shubham, I think again, we've seen this before. Shubham kind of turns off, loses that momentum, very similar to Adi Zima in that regard, where when he has the goal conceded against him, he doesn't look at his very best, but when he's able to get that initial goal, when he's able to get that momentum, he looks like a different beast altogether.
Yeah, absolutely. And he'll want to sign things out with the bang. Of course, this is not Odisha FC's last game. Neither is it the last game for Bengaluru FC. Both teams do have 2 games to go. Good opportunity for Shubham over here. Finds R9 in space. Manages to work a little bit of space, but I think just 1 or 2 touches too many over there, and ends up sandwiched between 2 defenders. And now Varsi getting that lovely ball in behind to find Eusebio. Will there be a cross into the box? Or is Varsi going to try something different? No real support. It is arriving now in the form of Mbappe, who runs wildly offside over there. But it's now Bellingham and Hullet. We have seen that become a preferred midfield partnership of either Hullet. I mean, it's really 3 options. Hullet has to be in regardless. I mean, the absolute beast that he is. Does all the jobs, attack, defense. He's just so effective everywhere.
Yeah.
Just generally one of the most complete cards in the game. I mean, you could probably even stick him at centre half and he'd do a great job. But and we've seen that with cards like Vieira as well. Lots of players using, especially at the start of the season, used Vieira as that central defensive player. In fact, Sagnik still does that. We do see Vieira in the center of defense. Can slightly expose you to long balls in behind, as we did see yesterday. But for now, Varsi taking it very easy, very calm, just working his way around. No pressure on this game at all for Bengaluru FC. They've just their race is run in terms of course, that top 4 battle. But wanting to put on a show, I'm sure, for the fans.
Oh, 100%. I think at the end of this league stage, a part of it is for themselves, but a part of it, of course, to try and give their fans a happy ending, to make sure that, for all the love I'm sure they've received throughout this league stage, they're able to reciprocate some of that as well with their final few matches. Now, really well cleared up on that defensive half. Shubham has found himself in a brilliant counter-attacking opportunity. Going to set up the cross for Eusebio. Gets the chest on, but tackled away in the nick of time by Marquinhos. And what a close tackle there, Azim. Could have easily been a penalty if it was even a millisecond wrongly timed.
Yeah, I did wonder though if Shubham would have been tempted to go for the scissor kick over there, considering he did manage to get the chest control. The scissor kick might also have worked since the defender had actually missed the header. But no time to think about that. Varsi is on the charge, but he gives it straight to Shubham. Will he look for the ball in behind? It's a smashing ball played in behind. That first touch is a problem. I think a lot of the players have struggled with that first touch, particularly. Like, you don't want the touch to come onto the head. You want it to be a chest touch or just using the feet to drill that ball forward. Big opportunity for Shubham over there, and alarm bells definitely ringing for Varsi, because Shubham seems to be getting in behind him pretty easily.
Yeah, exactly. Shubham seems to really be able to quite simply expose those holes in the defensive half for Varsi. Nothing executed just yet, so all Varsi really needs is a sucker punch, and he should be able to find himself in a comfortable note to push forward. This point.
And now again has the opportunity to play an R9 over there. Didn't quite work out for him in that moment. Still has the ability to look for 3 players and taking it easy, taking it nice and calm. Shubham, of course, at one point was probably one of the highest FIFA score rated players in the eISL. Was really putting the work in, grinding through those division rivals and foot champs games to get his rank as high as possible. But this time caught offside. 34 minutes in, we have seen Shubham with largely the better of the chances so far, but nothing entirely clear cut for either player.
Yeah, exactly. Barely offside in that play as well. So clear-cut chances. I want to see which player is able to be clinical in. We saw that from Varsi yesterday. Was quite clinical with his chances, and From Shubham himself, we didn't see as many, so we didn't really get to witness that action. But today, in this matchup, again, a lot of these players are not even going to be feeling the pressure. For example, Shubham himself, I'm sure, even though he was not in contention for the top four, was feeling the pressure of giving the best of performances for his close friend V Sharma, who was trying to make it to the top four. So now, with V Sharma having done so, I'm sure Shubham himself not as concerned about anything besides his own game. And we'll have to see if that enables him to play that much better. Now, some really nice 1-2 setup. Had Eusebio running down the middle of the box, but not able to find him just yet. He's going to have to spread the ball back into the midfield and hope Bellingham can use those long legs to set up a piercing pass.
Yeah, again, and there you go. He does go to Bellingham. Now the opportunity rearing its head finally, but no, he still has to go back. Will fall to Hullet eventually. And Shubham there might have been tempted to go for that long shot. Now with Eusebio, the path opens up to goal and shuts immediately. And
Oh,
ball given up by Varsi. Big opportunity. Shubham maybe not expecting that to fall to him. Works that well with R9. Needs to get that shot
oh.
away. But again, Ruben Diaz, that defensive wall over there, gets the ball away. And you can see a bit of a smile shared by the players saying, you know what, if we were playing with our regular teams without these team of the year cards, we would probably have had some goals by now.
And you can see Shubham is just like, bro, what? And like, no, come on. He's just astounded. He's like, nah, this is not okay. That guy just bodied me off the ball like it meant nothing. But hey, this is why if you get the Ruben Diaz card in one of your packs, guys, don't you dare sell him. I know he's worth a lot, but don't. He's just too good. Just use him.
Yeah, absolutely should. And yeah, I mean, make sure you're looking at all the cards that pop up in your packs. Don't just blindly hit your right
Oh
stick
my.
down and quick sell because, yeah, I've been there just by mistake. Instead of send to club, I've put it into quick sell and almost press R2. And then, oh my goodness, there was a huge panic moment over there. But anyway, these guys, of course, have access to all the cards in the game at the moment. They won't once they leave the bubble and go back to the whole console, which I'm sure they like pre-tournament they would have done a lot of grind, but and actually I'm sure they're doing a lot of grind in their hotels with their own accounts as well. So I think it's as Bimzutej said that the challenge is of course to play with not just the best cards in the game because I think particularly defensively, I think the cards tend to do a lot of the work for you, which is why the game has become so defensively solid right now. It's so hard for a lot of the pro players to score those goals when faced up against a compact defense. But anyway, we do see now with Shubham getting a great ball in behind. Again, that first touch slightly letting him down. Will he look for the cutback? He does. Gets the cutback.
Oh
And
my.
oh my goodness, Van de Sar with the save of the century right there.
I know the Flying Dutchman is supposed to be another guy altogether, but it certainly looked like Van de Sar right there. Yeah, like you said, he saved the century, saved all his energy from his fluffs in the earlier games today to pull it off right now. Keep Varsi still at that 0-0 scoreline. And oh, Varsi himself with a bit of a fluff, scooped into his own player. That's something you never want to see in an individual game because it's the AI doing it to you. There's like nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's even worse when it's co-op because then it's your teammate doing it to you.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, it can. We've all had those moments, particularly in co-op, just players running into each other. Both I've had moments where the my players put in a sliding tackle and tackled me instead, and then as he's getting up, I've fallen over him, and then obviously we've conceded a goal by then. So lots of that stuff does happen. It's all part of the game, and that's part of the reason why we all love this. I mean, it's runs out of play over there. But I think the all of the fun, the fun of scoring the goals, the glory of getting those perfect moves together, coupled with the occasional frustrations of feeling like the entire world is against you. I think that's what makes this game so fun.
Yeah, 100%. And I think at that point, really the players have to show a bit of resilience to push through and find themselves in that consistent no. And I think our top four teams have shown that so far. Maybe without the pressure, these teams can do so as well. In the match itself, though, 0-0 on the scorecard, we've got ourselves a pause, and I'm excited to see what changes either player is able to bring through. From Shubham, I want to see a Salah come on, really, because I do believe he's a Liverpool fan, if I'm not mistaken. So maybe just a shout out to one of the biggest Liverpool players that we've seen recently. Maybe a Mane, maybe even could see Roberto Firmino come on. I don't know. Anything from the heart of his, for the love of his club.
Yeah, definitely. We do want to see a couple of players. We do see KDB coming on for Bellingham. We see Vinicius Jr. on for, I'm not sure which Ronaldo. Does look like it's for CR7. So some fresh legs in there. A great ball played through and a great first touch as well to just kill that ball dead. But again, for Shubham, managing to get forward. He's looked very, very solid defensively. Not really been perturbed by what Varsi has had to throw at him. But for Shubham, throughout the tournament, it's always been the goal scoring that's been the issue. He's looked very, very solid and generally had to play a more reactive game. Typically, I think early on in the season, Dougal was struggling a little bit, so Shubham was just trying his best to not get beat for the most part, would just go very, very solid defensively. Then he would go goal down and then start chasing the game and eventually claw his way back. Was, of course, unbeaten for a long stretch of the season, but this time I think he's offside. Is he? No, he's not. Or is he? Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Fine margins there. Shubham can afford a smile, but it is still 0-0.
Yeah, exactly. It's still 0-0 on the board right now, so neither player able to really create that exquisite chance to separate themselves from the other, and it does mean that for both of these players, it is going to come down to one moment of individual flair, one moment of individual brilliance. It looks like Shubham might be in a key position to set up the same. Not actually able to.
I was wondering if he would just chop back with Messi and go for that long range shot, because that's typically what most players have shown to be the most effective way to use that Messi card on the right flank. But clearly not working, and now RC could have gone left flank, but I think he may have been offside. Now finds Neymar, and this is again actually does well to hold on to the ball over there. And now with KDB, has R9 over there, fires the ball straight into him. But it's very solid from Shubham. I mean, it just doesn't seem like there's any real clear path to goal for Varsi. And Shubham, it does look like he's playing that 4-2-3-1 formation, which of course makes him very, very difficult to beat, very, very difficult to break down, because of course you've got all the fullbacks there, plus you've got the two sitting midfielders, plus you've got the wingers tracking back as well. So it makes it a very, very difficult job, as Vinicius trying to dizzy himself by turning around 3 times. And will look to try and get in, but again Shubham able to use that defense to his advantage and just seeing it out. And well, if it continues this way, I think we're in for a 0-0 by the end.
Shubham trying to just spread the ball across all the field, find the pass in any portion of the field right now, but this continuous pressure applied by Varsi is denying the opportunity, and Varsi just maintaining his cool. He's got the hoodie on, just full concentration, and gets the ball back. Now he's going to be able to set himself up for the counter, but look at the clock, Azim. It's very key the time he's able to do it. If he wants to go for it now, should be the case, so that then he's able to fight back for that 90th minute spot. But again, hesitation in the wings, and I feel like all of these players need to take a note from our current number 1 ranked team, SCS Bengal, who are just happy to go for the crosses in those situations, especially with players like Cancelo controlling the ball down that way.
Yeah, and especially if you've got the CR7 card in there, I think Vasi would be a bit reluctant, because he's now just got Vinicius and Neymar in there. So he doesn't really have much height to attack, particularly when he crosses from the left and the right. Still has Mbappe over there. Now the 5-star weak foot of Neymar. Oh, that's brilliant. That's brilliant from Varsi. Shot cancel right at the end to beat the keeper. And finally, Shubham's resistance comes to an end. Varsi gets the job done. And clearly some jokes being exchanged over there. But Varsi, that's very, very well done. Looked like the chance was gone for a moment, but that little quick shot cancel over there, and the composure to just smash it into the corner, wait for the defenders to commit. So that's well done for Varsi. Hasn't created much in this game, but the one chance that he's got, he has taken.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, again, very reminiscent of what Neymar is able to pull off in real life as well. I think they were laughing because of the fact that he just slipped through so many tackles. They came so close to pulling him off, just jumping over with his nifty little feet. And Varsi doing brilliantly to make that happen. That short fake, especially towards the end, that was what was clutch to get him a clear opportunity into the goal, and he takes it with aplomb. Now 1-0 is the lead. Pele brought on for Gullit here for Odisha FC as they go all guns blazing. Vinicius for Cancelo, so 3 at the back, I'm assuming.
That does look like 3 at the back, but you don't want to be losing the ball over there because that could be good night. A good first touch, but a poor second one. And now Donnarumma, look at that. There's 5 players forward waiting for him. And he decides to pass to the opposition player. That's literally the worst pass that he could have chosen in that moment. Will he manage to get that back? No, desperately trying. And it's in from Varsi. And Shubham will be kicking himself. All those tactical changes made to just give the ball away from his own goalkeeper. So he'll be annoyed about that. But Varsi gets the job done, capitalizes. He got 2 chances, took 2 shots, scored 2 goals. Can't complain about that.
Yeah, exactly. Varsi played very, very well using that Neymar card also beautifully to make it happen. Gets a 2-0 victory in this first individual match for Bengaluru. Their path to redemption has begun after that devastating loss yesterday, and we'll see if it's able to continue with Exognic in his next individual match. Unfortunately, though, for Shubham, it seems like he's just not able to find actual value. He started off this match beautifully. Chance after chance created, shot after shot taken, but none of them found themselves into the back of the net, and he just seems to be in a bad rut of form in that regard.
Yeah, definitely. And there you go. It's 2-0. And Shubham, will be left to ruminate about where it all went wrong at up until 0-0. I felt it was probably going to be under up to a 0-0. But of course, Varsi then changing things around, taking a few risks, going more attacking. And by the time Shubham could react, I think it was pretty much all over. He had his chances over here. This one in particular, I think just went for too much power over there. Maybe a low-driven shot might have served him a little bit better. And it was generally all Shubham in terms of the chance creation. This one was, of course, scored but offside. And then finally, towards the 80-somethingth minute, you could see over there going for the fist pump and then just stopping halfway. But this was the big moment, our potential Terra Virtua super moment of the match over here. Excellent composure from Neymar. Pass 1, pass 2, pass 3, sits down the keeper, bang. Brilliantly worked. And even Shubham saying, oh, come on. That's not, you can't do that. That's not allowed. And yeah. Always enjoy the little looks that both these guys give to each other after goals, particularly. But yeah, there we have it. It's 49%, very even possession wise, and very even with XG as well, with Odisha actually shading it. So, very, very close match played out between these two players. And well, I think a 0-0 might have been a decent result, but eventually, because of one great bit of skill from Varsi and one sadly a very, very bad giveaway from Shubham, does mean that this match ends 2-0. And we do have Varsi waiting to us to have a chat, and we will head right over. Varsi, congrats on the
Thank you.
win. And
Thank you so much.
yesterday you said ki it would all be decided by 4:30 today, but sadly it was decided slightly earlier than that. So how have you felt since yesterday? What was the reaction after the match?
I mean, I can't put it into words. Like, obviously we are disappointed, but TK, we move. First season है eISL का. TK will be back next year. Like, obviously stronger next year.
I love that mentality. Never give up, indeed. But I actually want to ask you about your Neymar goal. I saw a sneaky smile exchange between you and Sagnik. So tell me what was going through your mind in that goal.
Actually, Sagnik wasn't expecting a shot cancel over there. He was like, a shot mar de. And I did a shot cancel. So yeah, that's what he was like. Eyes dikha di tune. So yes.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think it was the right decision over there because took out 3 defenders in one goal. So very, very good goal. But of course, now it's sort of just one more match to go after this. Generally, what's your experience been of the eISL? Of course, you all were fighting almost till the end, but kaisa raha overall experience?
I mean, it's been a great experience, and we obviously like we couldn't make it to top 4, and we can't now. And actually, nobody be to blame but us. We have like dropped points here and there. It's like we played a draw against SCS Bengals as well when Goa dropped points, and then yesterday again we lost when Goa like dropped points. So nobody like obviously we wanted to be in top 4. So yeah, it hurts. A bit disappointed with myself only. So yeah.
That's okay though. I hope you continue to push forward and persevere. इसके बाद भी एक पूरा matchup है, but for today, congratulations on your individual win. It'll be exciting seeing you in the co-op.
Thank you. Thank you.
And yeah, I think I can definitely understand that pain, but I'm glad that there's still smiles on their faces because, of course, while being sad is one thing, using it to motivate your move forward is what I think a winner is really made of. So I think you can see that mentality is going to help them in the future.
Yeah, definitely, and of course, we will be looking forward to the next season of the eISL as well. It's going to be super fun to see what evolutions come into the teams as well, and of course the new game. We'll have pretty much an all new game by the time we swing around next year as well. It's going to be super exciting to see just how it all evolves. I'm sure. I mean, of course, this season was played on the, shall we say, current gen. Oh, there you go, a little heart from Sagnik. Well done. But yeah, it's this season we had the little. We were still playing on the current gen, shall we say? Most of it on the PS4s, but we will be moving to the new engine the next time this comes around. So obviously, lots of changes over there, and the players will be adapting to the new engines as well. I'm sure they would have been focusing more on this particular build of the game for the last 4 months, and not really playing too much with the PS5 version, shall we say, because I mean it's very different. Like I find it very difficult to switch between the two. And yeah, anyway, speaking of switching between the two, we're switching between the two teammates now, and it is Dukal going up against Sagnik. Sagnik in the mood for a little bit of show voting, a little showing hearts to the camera. Maybe someone at home, maybe a girlfriend he's sending a message to. Who knows?
Or maybe just for his fans, and I think that's something we can definitely appreciate. But talking about Dougal, has looked extremely phenomenal since his last matchup where he was able to pull off a extremely close 4-3 win. Now we'll look to do that once again against Sagnik. We talked about this, I think. For Sagnik himself, a lot of pressure was seen in his gameplay yesterday. None of that is going to be present. He only has one thing to work forward with now, which is that goal scored mark. 44 has put him in that top 4 mark for the MVP list, but he's going to need a lot more if he's to compete with players who are going to play several more matches than him going into playoffs. So, Sagnik, it's time to pull off some blistering performances, some 10-0, 11-0, 12-0 wins, and I don't know, that's easier said than done, man, especially when Dougal is feeling himself.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it's plausible because you would expect that all the finals matches will be pretty cagey affairs. You would not expect too many 5 or 6 nil spankings in that tournament. So if he can go out there, get himself 5 goals per match, 6 goals per match, obviously much easier said than done. But I mean, it would just involve beating Dukal and one of Ashwin or Tikka. So yeah, it's very easy. But yeah, it's going to be a really tough ask for him. But still, he'll have it in his head at the start of the game. Go out there, just keep attacking. Varsi has done the business in the first game, so he can play with a little bit more freedom, and that's what he'll be looking to do, I'm sure.
Yeah, most definitely. And I hope he's going to be playing with that extra bit of freedom because then it's going to set us up for a beautiful matchup right here because we saw from Dougal yesterday, he was just playing his natural game. I think if both of the players are playing that natural fluid game where we get to see a lot more of the attacking display and inherently a few more holes in the defense, it sets us up as neutral observers for a brilliant matchup to witness and cast. So let's see if these players can make it happen. Pele running down the wing right now, and he's in a lot of space, but he's not able to actually find the opportunity to push it through. Instead, gets ushered out for a corner and for a throw, and just like that, will be trying to once again get the ball into the midfield. But that Gulip presence, something Zemir talked about in reference to the fact that he really is a all-around player, provides an ability to push forward in every single way. We're talking about pushing forward. It is Sagnik right now with the long ball set up for Mbappe, running down the wing, looking for some space, but Hakimi is too damn quick, just able to intercept it in time and set up the push back for Odisha themselves. But oh no, it instead pulled back immediately, and just like that, just cheap giveaway after cheap giveaway, as the players are playing in a manner we expected, where they are being much quicker in that attacking approach and inherently much better. So that very exciting to watch. And I want to see that translated into some goals real quick.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, root bullet for his time. A lot of those people who just a little bit of fun trivia for all our viewers in here. But root bullet, of course, I think a generational talent in terms of that big, massive powerhouse. We've seen it a lot of times, particularly in history. I think you would look at people like Shaquille O'Neal, and I think he was really the Shaquille O'Neal of the 80s. Won the Ballon d'Or in '87, the 1988 UEFA Championship as well. So guy who was just you could say in basketball terms the triple double machine. Just was absolutely brilliant at absolutely everything, and no surprise that he's there in pretty much every team that we end up seeing over here. But well, just as I said, he ends up passing the ball straight to the opposition. So the caster's curse is real for history lessons as well.
Oh yeah, and the Castles Curse has something we've seen. I mean, of course, it's more along the lines of it being several coincidences, but at some point they do start lining up, and you start wondering, hey, what is this? But talking about wondering what's going on, I think both of these players are going to be looking for those small holes, wondering where they can exploit certain tendencies, and just like that, Marquinhos getting aggressive with that tackle, able to pull off a key interception in the midfield and set up once again a push back for Sarknik. Now likes running down the wing, but he's one to cut back, not to cross, and cut back he does, going back into that midfield, looking for a run from one of his forwards, but just not able to find it in time. Does get the ball to Neymar though, but again, very well marked by Tuchel, just maintaining his compact defense.
Yeah, Tuchel doing a very, very good job on defense over here. Not really pressing the issue too much, allowing Sagnik to come to him and waiting for the move to come, not overcommitting unnecessarily. And well, there you can see Sagnik just presenting him the ball straight away and having a little bit of a chuckle about it as well. But yeah, there we go. Let's see if there is a ball on. It was on briefly on that left flank. He still does find Pele over here, does Tuchel, but well marshaled out by Sagnik. So again, a pretty cagey opening 30 minutes over here. Both players seeming very, very well matched. Of course, all these players by now have played so many games against each other. They probably know each other's game inside out, and it's really about bringing that element of surprise. And I was actually wondering whether we might see a little bit of mind games from the likes of Mumbai City FC, who have a few games left to play. Maybe play some really, really out there alternative tactics in their next two games to just put their opponents into doubt. Like, is this what these guys are going to do when they play us? Just start messing about. Just go five at the back for no reason, and start doing that. Maybe we might see some mind games coming into the play.
Yeah, potentially. Like maybe even go for some long ball tactics. Just keep throwing it in the air, frustrate your opponent, and inherently pull something out of the bag that you shouldn't have. But I think that's once again easier said than done because, and of course because of the fact that these players play each other a lot. And actually, I'm curious about that. Like coming into the playoffs, I wonder if teams like Odisha are going to be used by teams like Goa for scrims itself rather than play against the standard teams to make sure that they have that surprise factor and then they're not scrimming their immediate opponents. And I wonder how that will be settled because throughout the league stage, I'm sure they just played whoever they want. But in coming into the playoffs, even that strategy of who you play on your scrims can be quite important.
Yeah, and I think there was a little bit of an understanding between players through the league stages saying, okay, you know what, this is what we're going with, so you guys go with that, and this is how we'll match up. But yeah, I'm sure, like for instance, we haven't seen Saransh and Ankit Gupta play against each other. I mean, that would be an absolute firecracker of a match to watch, and hopefully would actually make for an exceptional final match as well, potentially, because the way the fixtures are set up, it could be that it's SC's Bengal against FC Goa and Mumbai City up against Chennai and FC. Of course, anything can happen, as we've seen in this tournament. On their day, every team is capable of beating every other team because that's just how evenly matched they are. That's how good all these players are. And it's just about finding the right momentum, the right confidence on the day, and who knows what could happen.
Exactly. I think anything is most definitely possible if the players are on that strong note, if the players are finding that same level of gameplay that they normally would in when they were playing just a casual matchup. But oh yeah, that chip was very unlikely. Van der Sar able to securely get it into his hands and deny that from going into the back of the net. And Again, a bit of a cagey affair in our first half. Varsity offering some key words of advice. He's like, don't take the shot. Remember, shot fake is key.
Yes, shot cancel. That's what's key. But you were talking about maybe like seeing some long ball tactics, and I think the one card that the world and the universe needs for people to successfully pull off long ball tactics is, why do we not have a foot hero or a foot icon card for Peter Crouch, guys? Why is this not a thing? I just searched online, the online database. There is no Peter Crouch card, and this is, I find this shocking for a player who is actually so tech.
Yeah. Yeah, it will be very exciting to see, and really give us an opportunity to witness some different type of gameplay, some different type of cards too, and therefore open up the opportunity for also to celebrate the fact that these players have everything. So maybe they can go for some sort of historic player or card that they have really known for all their lives or used in the previous iterations of their ultimate play. Now you can see an aggressive move forward by eISL, just trying to get it off of kickoff. Neymar created a lot of space, but now it's down to the other Brazilian legend to pass it off. Mbappe with the ball flick onto his left foot, but hitting the crossbar in the nick of time. That was intensely close. Ando trying to find some space and just not able to do so right now. Dougal not able to recapture that same level of form that he had yesterday. And it does seem that it is becoming that fact that it's much harder to break down eISL when he is feeling himself and when he is on that run of form. So we'll have to see if because of that Dougal can just find a moment where he's feeling much more safe, much more safe, and find some momentum because of it. Still 0-0 on the board. Neither of these players able to break it down. We saw this in the first match as well, where between Varsi and Shubham, both of the players, it came down to that last minute to create a moment of brilliance for Varsi and find the goal. And it's just going to come down, I think, again to the last moment. But that might be just here. Dougal with a lot of options in the box, but the decision making has to be key. He misses an opportunity, and the keeper coming up huge for eISL to be able to pull that through. Maintains that 0-0 scoreline, and just like that, we are set up for that intense affair, but much more open in terms of that defense as both of the players just go back to back across the pitch at each other's throats, looking to make something happen. Again, this time it is eISL looking to set up a play and find some sort of opportunity where he's able to pull back and find a level of brilliance within himself, but not able to happen just yet. Instead, the ball given away, the play going to be built up for Odisha FC. A pause is cued by Bengaluru. It will mean that we get to see maybe some tactical changes and, of course, player changes. And Neymar, for example, is something that I'm interested to see come through. Maybe a Vinicius Junior as well. Changes that we really saw Varsi use very, very well. So far, I think something again that hasn't really come through because no pause given just yet, as Dougal is controlling the ball very, very well and denying it, but an ambitious long ball down the left wing on the right foot of his left back. Well, that's where there's too many lefts and rights and he's able to get it done.
Yeah, absolutely. And well, it's been an interesting half of football, you have to say. Still no great pointers as to who's going to really take hold of this game and well, give us that entertainment that we were craving from these last few matches of the league stage. Still being very, very cagey. I still don't think we're seeing the players play with the kind of freedom and just bravado that we were expecting them to.
Yeah, exactly. That bravado, really, that almost like a mix of desperation and madness is what we were hoping that the players would bring to us, and therefore a high tempo match. But it hasn't come through because while they've both been at each other's necks, they haven't really freed up completely. But again, what we saw in the first match, Azim, was it came down to the last few minutes for Vasi to create a chance. So maybe we see that from one of these players once again. The 1-2 almost set up for Dougal, but in the nick of time, cleared out by eISL. He's now in the point.
70 minutes now on the clock, And both teams looking now to make this count. Of course, if Sagnik manages to get the goal over here, that's pretty much it for Odisha FC and potentially their season as well. I don't think they would go much higher than 8th maybe if they do manage to if they don't manage to win this game. Yeah, I think 8th is pretty much the highest that they can get to. But what on earth happened over there? Wait, let's hope we get a replay of this. Clearly, we don't. Okay, a mystery goal has been scored over here, and we don't quite know. I was looking at the. Oh, we do have a replay over here. Let's see what happened over here because I was just looking in at the back, and oh my goodness, it was just handed back over there, and well, yeah, easy as you like. And now, game definitely on. Dukal gets the win. And here I was sitting and speculating about what would happen if Odisha FC lost and wasting my time looking at tables on the side when Odisha FC going out and getting the winner.
Yeah, I thought that the defender would have just been able to clear it, but clearly not a fan of ballet there. Not able to stretch his legs enough and put it out. And just like that, like you said, Dougal is able to pick up the lead. Pressure on Exognic once again to try and find an opportunity in. We talked about 5 goals, 10 goals. Right now, he needs at least 1 goal to pull off a draw. But Exognic just not able to find any whatsoever. While Dougal is just going for it. He's like, okay, I see someone running on the map. I just press a heavy lob through.
Yeah, and of course, and then I hope that Marquinhos continues to forget how to trap a football. Yeah, because I mean, I would have asked for my money back on that Marquinhos card. You know, if I had spent like however many million coins you needed to, and he did that, I was like, no, please refund. I will take Koulibaly. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh boy. Even Rudiger, I think the Rudiger card, something we saw at the initial stages when the cards come up, but since then has just almost disappeared. Ruben Diaz, Marquinhos, mostly dominating. We see a Maldini or 2 here and there, but that's pretty much it. Either way, still right now again, the players looking. It's Exognic looking to set something up. He's got Ronaldo in the box, but I don't think he needed to go for the pass. Could have just gone for the shot, but oh no!
Oh my goodness!
That's hard.
Oh well, if there is an award for comedy goal of the tournament, that's probably it. I mean, I think we've seen 1 or 2 howlers in the tournament so far. But yeah, I think that one's right up there. And Dougal over there, could have been potentially on to go and get those 3 points. But now, if they draw this game, of course, Odisha FC can only go and get the 1. So that's going to hurt him for sure. And just absolutely comical over there. I'm not quite sure what he was doing, trying to lob that ball back to his keeper. And once that was done, why he would not clear it completely baffles me. But hey, I mean, that's just how it is. And Sagnik now might be motivated to go out and get that winning goal and completely end this tie here.
I think it's because, Dougal, as we talked to him recently, and he said he wants to once again become a full-time streamer. So going for the entertainment factor. He's like, hey, you know what? That would be a funny goal. And if it's a draw, then the co-op would be that much more entertaining. So I like that.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, the co-op would have been even more entertaining if Dougal had won the game, considering that, Varsi managed to beat Shubham. But, well, there we go. It does look like it is 1 point guaranteed for Bengaluru FC. And they'll be battling it out in that co-op game to try and make it all 3. And Dougal, yeah, I think doing it for the lulz, shall we say, to put it kindly. But there you have it, 2-0 for Varsi up against Shubham, and Dougal, of course, bizarrely drawing that game with Sagnik after a bizarre goal to start with anyway. So maybe he was like, you know what, I did not deserve that goal, so I will give you this goal back, which is very, very strange. But anyway, there we have it. It's Bengaluru FC with 1 point in the bag and looking to make it all 3. All they have to do is avoid defeat in game 3.
Yeah, exactly. All they've got to do is avoid defeat in game 3, and they will be able to secure all 3 points and try to end off their last few games in this eISL league stage on a good note. But it was quite a close affair in that first half. We saw a lot of chances for either of those players, but what ended up separating them is, of course, the blunder from Marquinhos. Not only does he miss like clearing the ball or capturing the ball in that situation, he then runs into the back of Ronaldo and stumbles. So that's like an instant refund, like you said. Just like, get out of there, Marquinhos.
And yeah, this was just, I mean, I don't even know. That's just, it's just one of those. Everyone has one of those, and you can see Varsi can't control himself. And yeah, they can laugh about it now, but yeah, I think he was saying, I don't know whether Shubham was saying you couldn't have done anything about that, or why did you do that? I think it was somewhere in the middle of those two emotions. But Sagnik pretty much dominated the possession, but not much in terms of expected goals for either player. I think Bengaluru was 0.8 and Odisha was 0.6. No real pointers either way. And the glaring stat for Bengaluru FC is that they managed to get a goal without a shot on target. And I think that's really the damning stat for them. But hey, sometimes that's how it works, and we get entertainment out of it. So
Yeah.
I mean, we can't really complain about that.
Yeah, I'll take it. At that point, like, I think we're not getting bicycle kicks and scorpion kicks, so we'll take non-shot goals instead. And at this point, whatever is able to help us get a laugh or two, and the players as well. You can see Marcy just like, oh, what just happened? And that part was quite funny.
Yeah. Also quite funny and entertaining. You can find, well, not funny, epic, iconic. You can find awesome hero eISL moments, trading cards, all that fun stuff. Just head over to Terra Virtua and get your NFT game on point.
A chance for you to collect some iconic hero ISL moments, as you mentioned, Azim, as well as get closer to the get it closer for yourself as well, all courtesy of Terra Virtua. But right now, what we do need to get closer to is that co-op game. It is going to be, I believe, the final one for the side of Odisha FC as well. So a chance for them to cap it off in a good way, their eISL league stage, by finding a win right there and at least ending off this series in a draw.
Yeah, they'll definitely be looking to do that. They still do have one more game to redeem themselves, which I don't think is going to be particularly easy. I do believe it is against SC East Bengal. So yeah, they're going to be looking forward to that for sure. Trying to put a dent into SC East Bengal's confidence and their ambitions as well. But as it stands, for now, it's about getting the result over here. Hoping to get 1 point, because the 1 point can still potentially keep their hopes of a top 7 alive. Otherwise, it would just be top 8, or rather 8th place, which is the best that Odisha FC would be able to manage. They're currently sitting in 10th. And here we go. We have kicked off. Maximum efficiency today, no time wastage, and we are ready to go. Neymar with bright blue shoes, it does look like. Interesting. Is this a new limited edition blue shoe Neymar? We will find out.
Yeah, I'm actually very curious. I don't think it's something we've seen before, and hey, maybe it depends on the card itself they're using. Maybe they're not using the 93 Neymar card and instead using the 92 one. There is a 91 one too, I believe. So we'll have to see. If he scores a goal, we'll get to see the exact card. But right now, the person who does look like scoring a goal is the team that looks like scoring a goal was Odisha FC till they gave the ball away and set up this counter for Bengaluru.
I think we can expect these guys to have a bit of fun, starting with that great pick out there, and that's of course the benefit that De Bruyne card gives you, an insane passing ability. But yeah, Neymar in the mood over here. Let's see, going for the fitness, and Van der Sar also in the mood today, managing to claw that one out. And thankfully for Odisha FC, this time passing the ball to his own player rather than a player in a white shirt.
Yeah. Again, can't get over that funny moment. I wonder if they get to replace it with instead exciting moment now. One funny goal, one exciting goal. That's a perfect recipe for me, Odisha FC, for some lovely entertainment. But right now, just not even able to get into the box. But that's okay, because Bengaluru says, hey, go at it again.
Yeah, Bengaluru over there getting into the, well, it's Odisha into the box over here, trying to work that shooting opportunity, trying to do that little shift of the ball. to work the space. And now, ball in behind, a great ball in behind to find CR7 by Hakimi over there. Now it's about picking the right pass out. The cross comes into the box, but well defended over there. Mbappe, I think, too far back. Maybe the cutback might have been the better option over here. 20 minutes will be approaching soon. But both teams playing with a lot of freedom over here. It's a very, very open end-to-end game, and that's exactly what we want to see.
Yeah, exactly. And at this point, I think that and a lot of goals is what I will be extremely satisfied with. And if I can see a couple of long balls like the one KDB set up earlier as well, that will just be the cherry on the cake. But very slow right now from the side of Bengaluru FC, just getting warmed up, trying to find some sort of space in the box. And again, De Bruyne with those longer passes, the strength of his really coming to light, but not really actually able to set one up into the box. Still, he finds Ronaldo right here on the edge. The cutback for Neymar, but the keeper and Marquinhos combining to deny any chance of a shot.
Yeah, can't quite get those shots away at the moment, but I'm sure they'll come. We have seen a few decent opportunities for both teams, but nothing too clear cut. You would have to say we've seen a couple of shots from range. We've seen a couple of these kind of long balls in behind, but there you go again. I think this is just a factor of all these guys have played each other so many times. They sort of have figured out just how they operate on a base level, and then, as you said, it just comes to those micro adjustments that you make on the fly or based on how the player is subtly adapting their style on the day. And I think a large part of this game is doing the unpredictable thing, which is actually, I mean, it makes it tough for the opposition, but it's tough to do yourself. Like, you really have to consciously check yourself and be like, okay, this is what I would normally do. I would normally pass to the left, or I'm going to stop myself and pass to the right, and just make the opponent stop and think about it and not be able to read it so easily. At this time, red easily was that Marseille Roulette, Ruud getting in the way, but this time that speed burst is there in at the near post, and Bengaluru FC get the goal. And of course, as things stand, they get the 3 points as well.
Yeah, and if the way things stand, though, that will be the key word, because of course we've got plenty of time left to go. So I'm sure Odisha FC will be able to rally back, but it has looked so far that Bengaluru is the more threatening team, so it will be easier said than done. After that, I thought the attack was done just then, but a cheap giveaway. We've seen this many a times, but this time actually resulting in a goal. I don't even think that shot was perfectly timed, but just going for it and slamming it in top pins with Ronaldo. Oh, I guess it was.
Yeah, job well done over there for Bengaluru FC. And now Odisha have to come back. They have 15 minutes of this half and of course the entire second half to do something about it. Also have to make sure they don't concede any goals. We should remind our viewers that a draw for Odisha FC doesn't do anything for them. They have to win this game in order to get the 1 point that is available and still up for grabs. That's because, of course, Bengaluru FC won their first game and drew the second one. And in the third game, of course, the draw is the only viable outcome for Odisha FC. And, of course, they have to win the game for that to happen. And at the moment, not particularly encouraging signs, you would have to say, for the team in that lovely black and purple jersey. Need to step the game up just a little bit.
Yeah, I really think Odisha FC need to find some sort of synchronization in the midfield, particularly because there have been a lot of cheap giveaways. Their midfield presence has been extremely lackluster, I would say. And at that point, they need to find that two-man press together to try and pull back the ball and then set up on the attack for themselves with that synchronization coming through. Instead, though, right now it is Bengaluru FC doing just that. They have the ball together. They're going to look to set up an attack and plenty of options in that attacking third. The ball with Ronaldo setting up Mbappe on the right wing. Not going to go for a cross, of course, because Ronaldo's on the edge of the box, but trying to get a cutback instead. But Hakimi just barely scuffing it will mean that Odisha FC get back the ball and now will be able to set up a counter.
Big switch to the right flank was on, but of course now the defenders covering it off pretty well. And now there's an opportunity to expose space on that left flank. But again, that hulking frame of Ruud Gullit is just absolutely everywhere all the time. Does such a brilliant job. And now Bellingham getting in. Good opportunity here if he can beat his man past one, but not past the second. And at 45 minutes, it does look like we're going into this with 1-0 as the score. It is Bengaluru FC getting the job done. Unfortunately for them, a little too late for their top 4 chances, but on the day for that battle to be the best of the rest, along with Northeast United FC, they're looking like favourites to get that 5th place.
Most definitely. Bengaluru FC with that 1-0 lead from this halftime will look to just. I don't think they look to hold on just yet. I think they will look to just build up on this from the second half, where you can see Dougal very disappointed, probably demoralized after that lull moment that we saw in his individual game, and now going down. Yeah, all that momentum he gained from his 3-4 victory yesterday probably gone down the drain. But that's what I think champions are made of. The ability to bounce back after a mistake and really rally back strong is important. But another cheap giveaway off of kickoff. Azim just handing the ball to Bengaluru and letting them control the tempo of the game.
Yeah, that's not really what you want to do. And now Bengaluru with the initiative, waltzing past. Oh, that's beautifully worked. That's brilliantly done. And again, losing possession from your own kickoff, that's really just one of those things you absolutely cannot afford at this level. And you can see the heads dropping at Odisha FC over there. They know they've really made a big mistake over there.
At this point, I think Odisha FC will probably just be resignated to a defeat. But that's not what I want to see. There's still plenty of time for them to push back for a comeback. Even if they get a draw in this matchup, of course, they will lose those 3 points. But ending it off in a draw will at least give them some sort of momentum to try and push back strong. So in their final matchup in the eISL League stage. So it's all about just those individual goals and individual plays.
Yeah, and has he managed to stay onside there? Nope, not quite. And getting a little bit hurried, a little bit flustered over there. Odisha FC need to keep their calm, keep their composure. I do wonder if they'll revert to that 3 at the back at some point. We did see Shubham go to that formation, but unfortunately, story of Odisha FC's game and potentially their season as well, where made all the plans, went 3 at the back, and then immediately proceeded to give the ball straight to the opposition without even getting a single attack under his belt with that new attacking formation. So changes being made, some substitutions. Let's see what Bengaluru FC and Odisha FC have for us. It's Vinicius Jr., it's Messi in. No surprises, you would have to say. Nothing, no major surprise cards. Boo! We don't like that. We want to see Fellaini. Where is Fellaini? But it looks like it's going to be 3-0 over here because KDB getting into the box, but I think just delaying the shot a little bit allowed Odisha FC to get back in there, and now deflection will fall kindly, or will it? Was falling kindly, but the touch from CR7 over there slightly questionable, you would have to say. And now with Hullet and Ronaldo and Bellingham, they do keep coming forward. Odisha FC needs a good opportunity getting past the first defender, but of course Cancelo there on the cover. The ball will come straight back, but will be repelled with a fair amount of ease by Bengaluru FC, who can now counter-attack themselves.
Yeah. And I think again, really that simple fact that Odisha have looked quite beaten down by Bengaluru, who look phenomenal on their co-op, something that we've come to expect of them. We didn't see that yesterday, I will say, but they bounced back in prolific fashion today. All they needed was a draw, Azim, from this matchup, but it seemed to be set up for the win itself because Odisha just not able to find a chance, like even in this situation. Mbappe pushing back, but there's only one guy left.
Yeah, it's not looking particularly great for Odisha FC, and again, getting in behind very, very easily and very repeatedly. Our FC Goa going for that throw, and I wonder if we'll see the long range shot. This is the ideal position from Messi. Now with CR7, will he do a left? Oh my goodness, he's taken it! He has taken it on. What a screamer that is! An absolute peach there. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. 3-0 for Bengaluru FC. Wow.
Sheesh. What? I don't need to see that again. Okay. She's beautifully shot.
That was severely good, would have to say. Really, really good. I was not expecting it. I mean, just as a joke, I was going to say, maybe Ronaldo's going to launch one just to show Messi how it's done. And my goodness, he did. It was just beautifully taken. Didn't feel like a finish, or just felt like it was pure power and just the timing of the shot. And now getting in, going for the shot, and that's again, you'd have to say, very poor finishing from Odisha FC. Had the opportunity and a bit more composure over there, could have seen them get that one goal back. But now it's CR7 who, well, not the time finish this time. And really could have been 4-0 over there. Now very, very end-to-end. Both teams don't really care about defending anymore. They just want to go out and score goals.
Look at this again, trying to set up some sort of an attack. And oh! Again, if we saw another screamer at the other end, I would have been astonished, but just no luck for Odisha FC. And really no dice for them at this point. There will be a couple of changes, Azim, we get to witness. Please, oh please, I just really want to see some sort of new card.
Yeah, well, I'm sure we'll get to see something in the next coming games on Saturday as well, when there's even less at stake. Oh, it's Zidane on for Ronaldo. We haven't seen Zidane in a while. We see Neymar as well. I do wonder if it's the 97 Zidane that's suddenly become available. And it is Zlatan as well, yes.
I'll take that. Now, it's not a new card exactly, because I think we've seen Northeast United especially use it a bit, but it's one we rarely get to see. So I'll take it. Oh, okay. Vieira's long legs actually coming up clutch this time, and I think this is a case of them being like, you know what, Marquinhos doesn't have long enough legs after the last match, so they're like, bring it someone taller, guys. Vieira is this.
Yeah, and of course Zidane over there. I don't think, it's not the updated card, because I would assume the updated card would be like the fully bald Zidane. This is the balding Zidane. Not let's say the peak Zidane that we came to know and love. But great ball played in behind. If he's managed to keep it onside, Mbappe definitely was onside, so very smart to let that go. And goes for the chip. We'll get the, oh my goodness, it's absolutely comical over there. Defender and keeper falling over each other, Varsi falling over himself. And yeah, we've seen a few howlers in this game. I hope we get to see the replay of this in slow motion.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
I think we need to amend that phrase and now add Odisha. DK, and then I forgot who we added earlier on today, and then now Odisha. Such back-to-back matches with some weird scuffles and.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, this time they might look to set one up, and yes, they will. At least one goal pulled back. Maybe even more. They've got 10 minutes left.
Yeah, who knows? And that was actually that was one of those, you know what, I'm so done with this game. I'm just going to go solo from the kickoff and score. It was just one of those. We've all had those. And a good goal, you have to say. Worked that very, very, very well. Baited the defenders in. And now Zlatan on that left flank going for the long ball in behind. And you can see both teams on all-out attack right now. Beautiful ball played in behind. It's Zlatan. Will he go for the finesse into the corner? But nope, Van der Sar gets the job done over there. Passes to his teammate instead of the opposition. So yeah, all good. And now, oh, he's offside. Vinicius found offside. Otherwise, that could have been a decent counter-attacking opportunity for Odisha. And it does seem like this is pretty much done and dusted. Maybe a consolation for Odisha if Bengaluru FC allow them that indulgence, but it does look like they might have that chance.
And maybe make that too. Oh, Vieira with his physicality denying it, and at this point it looks like it is going to end up as a 4-1, but okay, this time Gullit being like, hey, defensive midfield partner, if you can do it, I can do it too. Tried to set up Ibra in the box, but Van der Sar just able to collect it nice and easy. A key interception from it. De Bruyne gave Mbappe a lot of space, but instead he chooses to pass. Messi running down the wing has Ronaldo in the box, tried to set up the dink, but just not working out.
Yeah, I thought that might have gone out for a corner, but managing to keep that in. And there we go, just 1 minute of added time, which Bengaluru FC might have an opportunity to do something with. And Odisha might have an opportunity to add some respectability to the scoreline, but not enough time. The referee blows the whistle And that is job done. Bengaluru FC getting all 3 points, scoring a bunch of goals. Of course, they do not count for Sagnik's MVP sticks, so he'll have to make do with just that one goal, as scrappy and scruffy as it was. And well, hope to add to his tally on Saturday when we see him play next.
An easy win picked up for Bengaluru, and I think really showing us what we missed yesterday in the match against Hyderabad. The fact that, for both of these teams, it really comes down to a lot of pressure and how it affects their gameplay. Bengaluru, a disappointing matchup yesterday, but today they get all 3 points and are looking to push forward and persevere, end off this league stage on a good note.
Yeah, definitely, and well, they're having a good laugh about it as well. I think that one goal was quite comical, shall we say, and but we had a couple of comical goals as well. We saw the Sagnik's goal itself in his game was just one comedy of errors, and then we saw Marquinhos and Van der Sar getting all tangled up between each other. So a few light moments. I'm sure Odisha FC won't be laughing entirely after being smashed 4-1. But I mean, all of us as fans and viewers can just have a bit of a chuckle about this.
There's some funny goals and some really nifty mentions, and I think at that point, like, really what is really cool is that we got to see this explosive performance from the side of Bengaluru. Disappointing from Odisha FC. And not really able to find, but that screamer, man. I just gave a pause to just appreciate that for a second again.
Oh yeah, that was just absolutely wonderful, just smashing it in. Sure, we're going to see that goal again in a couple of highlights packages somewhere else. Really, really, really good goal. And well, if that was quality finishing, then I'm not quite sure what to call that fourth goal for Bengaluru FC. You can see over here as well, just players getting in each other's way, and this time the save being made by the goalkeeper at the near post was worked well. Got a bit fortunate to get the opportunity to begin with, but there we go. You thought this one was going to be job done, easy peasy. Went for the chip, and yeah, just Marquinhos falling over his keeper, and I'm sure we'll get to have a look at the reactions. That's just that's just one of those.
Yeah. At this point, really, really for Odisha FC, I hope that they're able to come off this match and really come back stronger, and really think about that simple fact that in that next match that they've got one more match left in their last game. They just play for that fun. I think we saw that from Dugal yesterday, where he had a phenomenal matchup. We haven't really got to see it from Shubham just yet, but I'll always say better late than never. So if he's able to pull it off in his final match, it would be really, really cool.
Yeah, and very, very close between the two teams, you'd have to say, both possession-wise and in terms of the expected goals as well. Actually, Bengaluru FC just shading it by 0.1, so Odisha FC will feel just slightly hard done by that result. But hey, I mean, that's just how it goes sometimes, and well, you just have to accept it once in a while. It is what it is. Varsi getting the win up against Shubham, Dugal with the draw against Sagnik, and of course Varsi and Sagnik getting the job done very, very emphatically in the co-op with a 4-1 victory.
Yeah, and really at this point, we might as well see who the hero of the match is, and I assume it is going to be Varsi, since he was able to pick up the individual win. Yeah, and it seems like a good chunk of the co-op goals as well scored by Varsi himself. I really want to know who scored the screamer, Azim. And I'm going to ask you, who do you think, if you had to take a guess, which player is the kind of player to take that shot, just go for it?
Yeah, it did look based on the reactions that it was Varsi who took it, and I'm sure we'll get to see it in the highlights package as well. I think all of his goals were really well worked. This one especially, the shot cancel in the end. Even his teammate was impressed with that. And we are getting a bit fortunate for the ball dropping at him, and no fortune about the finish. However, just taking that, getting the 2-0 at the end, and then had a couple of good goals. This one was set up for him very well by Sagnik. And I think it was the blue marker that took the shot. There you go. And bang, it went into that top corner. You never tire of watching that one. So good. And Sagnik was massively impressed by that, you would have to say. So job very, very well done. And I get the feeling that this might also be our Terra Virtua super moment of the match. I hope it is, so that we get to watch that absolute screamer once again. And I believe it is. It is, yeah.
I'm just more than the screamer. I want to see Sagnik's astounded face once again, because he was just shocked. He was like, "Okay, bro, what the heck?" But just appreciate it.
And it was Messi, who you would have expected to be the one to take that shot, but then Ronaldo stepping in, no finesse, bang, just power. That was absolutely world class from Varsi. Oof, no chance for the keeper.
A big thanks to production for making that happen, and definitely, as you said, deserving of that Terra Virtua super moment of the match. Even the reflect you could see was just in awe, just having the time of his life. But hey, with that, let's see how it has affected the leaderboard. Bengaluru FC will be persevering to secure that number 5 spot for themselves, and they found themselves there on level with points with Northeast United FC, but beating them by a large margin on that goal difference.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure they would love to just finish just that 1 point of FC Goa to really drive home the fact that they were just really that close to making it into the top 4, and really could have been just that one draw yesterday against Hyderabad FC could have potentially made a little bit of a difference for them, but well, that's just how it goes sometimes, and it is what it is. But yeah, we do have Sagnik waiting to have a chat with us, so we will head right over. Sagnik, congrats on the win. A very, very entertaining game, particularly in the co-op. Lots of very strange physics fails happening, particularly for that fourth goal. But you guys officially out of the top 4 now. But obviously disappointing yesterday. So how are you taking it? We spoke to Varsi about it. Wanted to get your views on it as well.
Yeah, so I was pretty disappointed about my performance yesterday, and today, it was a completely different day. We were all having fun, the result didn't matter. So yeah, we had lots of fun today. And it's not the end of the journey for us, we are taking a lot of memories with us. So yeah.
Yeah, we heard similar from Varsi, so I really appreciate that you guys have this never give up mentality. You just take the loss in the stride. But I want to get to something a little more fun, perhaps, that Ronaldo goal from Varsi. I saw your reaction. It was like, ah? So talk me through what went on through that goal. Did Varsi just say, "मैं shoot कर रहा हूँ"? क्या हुआ?
No. He's like crazy in co-op. So I play the normal, the meta style of FIFA, and he takes shots from anywhere, and it goes in for him.
Yeah, clearly it's going in for him very, very well. But of course, it's been a long journey for you all. You guys will finish, if you win your last game, you'll finish just that 1 point of the top 4. So how's the tournament been for you? What have been your major learnings from the eISL, and what are you going to take back with you?
Yeah, so I came in the tournament, and I obviously expected top 4, but after the first half of the tournament, I felt like that was a reality check for me, and in the second half we improved a lot, but I feel like personally that we lost the tournament in the first half only. 4 wins in 10 games is not a very good way to start the tournament, So yeah, it's been a good tournament, plenty of memories and lots to learn.
I'm glad to hear that. Congratulations, of course, on the win today. And of course, always appreciate the never give up mentality. I'll be excited seeing all of you in the future. You've still got one more match to go, though. So yeah, congratulations once again.
Thank you guys.
Well, Azim, again, I really appreciate players who are able to take the loss in the stride. I think across many an esports title in FIFA as well, I've seen many players just take the loss to their heart and just give up.
Yeah, absolutely. And you have to keep going. And of course, the people who keep going in the NFT space is, of course, Terra Virtua, where you can get your Hero ISL trading cards, special moments, all that kind of fun stuff. So check it out right now.
Well, a chance for you to collect some iconic Hero ISL moments, get closer really, buy yourself with some key NFTs. But right now, of course, I'd like to thank the reason we even have this platform, the eISL in the first place, the eISL, powered by Coca-Cola, with Hero as our associate sponsor, Nodwin Gaming as our esports partner, PlayStation as our platform partner, and Terra Virtua as our digital collectibles partner. And with that, Azim, it marks the end of our match day. What a thrilling day it has been. Some funny goals here and there, some screamers here and there, and there's much more to come. So make sure you're subscribed and catch us with the next match day soon to come later in this week.